So today, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about a build that I think a lot of you guys are really going to enjoy. I'm telling you guys, this build right here just absolutely slaughters enemies. It's probably one of my favorite builds, and I've been actually looking for this exact SMG to put on the build and actually tweak it for SMG versus AR damage. You might have seen a build like this in the past, and this build was really missing this weapon right here. Now you can use it with the FAMAS, but I was actually looking for this vector with this exact role. And the funny thing is, I never had the role in my library, so I had to go farm that. I did one thing, a countdown, was able to get it, was able to roll it, and at 1.7 million armor, you guys are seeing how much damage is actually coming out of this. Even with the amount of damage you think you might lose, well, the way it's set up is you continue to have a lot of damage and you have the survivability. And with this talent on this weapon, now I even have more survivability and I still keep that damage. So that's why I actually like this one a lot. This is going to be a great solo player build that I think a lot of you guys can use to farm those harder difficulties. As you guys are seeing here, we're farming some heroic control points that are great for dropping loot. So if you guys have been looking for that, and you can pretty much farm all the missions with this build too. So let's get into the build, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. So for the specialization, one thing you need to make sure you guys have on here is the gunner class. The reason why is because this is going to give us that 10% armor on kill, plus it allows us to run the Banshee pulse. So those are two things you really need for this build. For the SMG, we are running the Vector SBR. This is the one that I've been looking for. Look at that skin. This is actually probably one of the nicer looking weapons. Well, this one actually has 91,000 damage, 1300 RPM, 45 round mag. We actually were able to bump this one up to 12 expertise. I can't wait to get this to 20 because it's even going to do better. This has 15 SMG damage, 21% critical hit chance, and 10% damage to targets out of cover. And then look at the talent it has right here. Preservation, killing an enemy repairs 10% of your armor over 5 seconds, but it even gets better because when you get those headshot kills, it improves your repair by an additional 10%. So that means I can have a total of 20% armor on kill if I get those headshot kills. And that's a lot of armor on kill, because if you think about it, I have 1.7 million armor, and you pair that up with the additional 10% I get for every kill. So I'm about to get 30% armor on kill if I get those headshot kills, right? Because I get 10% from the gunner class, and then I can get up to 20% additional. That's what I like. So if you look right here, we have critical hit chance on the scope. We have 20 rounds in the magazine. We have 5% critical hit chance, and then a 5% critical hit chance suppressor. For the secondary, you can run whatever you want. Typically, you run the rock and roll because it builds up stack fast. With 1300 RPM, you guys saw in the gameplay, I was able to build that 100% stack pretty good. And this build allows you to do that. So that's why I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy it. So for the mask, we are running the Striker Battle Gear. Now the two pieces is going to give us that 15% weapon handling, which is going to make using this vector super easy. We have 15% rate of fire, and that's why we get that 1380 rate of fire on that weapon. And then obviously you guys know how Striker Gambles work. If you guys are new returning, well, weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. 1 stack lost per second, 0 to 50 stacks, 2 stacks lost per second, 50 to 100. Now we have armor on here, we have a critical hit damage roll, and then we have a critical hit damage mod. The reason why I do like running SMGs is because you remember they already have a base critical hit chance, so the critical hit damage mods can be put here versus critical hit chance mods, because with ARs you don't have that. For the chest, we are running the Striker's chest. We have armor, critical damage, and another critical damage mod. And obviously the Striker chest, what it's gonna do, it's gonna allow us to increase our stack from 100 to 200. Now, 3 stacks are lost per second between 100 and 200. But yeah, this is definitely a really good piece to put here, because on my holster, I decided to run a gold piece, and that gold piece is the Carl's holster. Now I went with this one because it gives us that armor roll and it gives us a weapon damage roll. That allows me to get 1.7 million armor on the build, because I'm able to still get 15% weapon damage, but I'm also able to get an armor roll. And there's not another piece that's gonna give you 2 red and a blue roll on yours, except for, you guys know, the Memento backpack, which gives you a red, yellow, and blue. This gives you a red and blue, so that's why I like it. For the knee pads, we have our third piece of Striker's Battle Gear. We have the weapon damage, and we have critical damage rolled on here. For our fourth and final piece of Striker Battle Gear, we have the gloves with armor, critical hit chance, and finally the Memento backpack. Guys, this is probably one of the go-to pieces for solo players. If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend farming for it. Recommend trying Summit, put targeted loot. If you can farm on challenging, that'd probably be the easiest out of the two, or if you can do heroic, definitely do that. You can match make, but yeah, put bags on there. Also countdown, you can use all your points on those exotic caches from the countdown vendor. You also have a chance of it dropping from any of the hunters at the end. So we have weapon damage, armor, we have skill tier, we have 11% armor right here, and then we have 6% critical hit chance. Now we have kill confirmed. Obviously, you guys, you know how this works. Once I'm at full stack, I get additional 30% weapon damage. We get 30% skill efficiency and 3% armor regen. That's why the armor regen, along with the armor on kill, works really good with this build, and it's like strikers from Division 1, if you guys remember that. As I said, I am running the Banshee Pulse, and that helps me. If I get in trouble where enemies start shooting me at different directions, I pop this and it's going to disorient them. It allows me to regroup, maybe get in cover, maybe pop a med kit, whatever I need to do. That's what the Banshee Pulse is going to do. And then the Defender Drone gives me, on this build, it's going to give me 30% damage reduction, right? And then one thing you guys need to remember is it's going to get skill efficiency from my backpack once I have that at max stack. So that's another really good thing. So if you look, we're sitting at 58% critical hit chance, 116% critical hit damage, 70% headshot damage. We go down and you'll see we have almost 7 million armor. We have 168,000 armor on kill. The armor regeneration isn't there right now because we're not at full stack. If we were at full stack, you would see that. Max health is at 337,000 max health. Now, I'll tell you guys, this is probably one of my favorite builds in the AR version. Typically, you see me running with the FAMAS, which is actually a really good weapon to run it with. And on this build, remember, it sits at 1,035 RPM and it has preservation. Sorry, this one has a preservation right here. But this one's sitting at 1,380. I'm actually liking it. I actually can stack more critical damage. I'm close to them. I feel like the damage is pretty close between the two. You just definitely have to test it out. But I'm having fun with this one. Definitely one of my favorite SMGs to run. If you guys have been looking for a build, well, this one could be the one for you. What we're gonna do here, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, I wanna say thank you guys again for supporting the videos on this channel recently. Lately, you guys have been coming out, commenting, liking, sharing. Appreciate that. And if you guys can continue to do that, I definitely appreciate it. Remember, if you guys want to sub to this channel because you guys enjoy Division 2 content, check out the join members button. That's a great way to support the channel in general. Show me you guys love this kind of content. All right, we'll wrap it up here. Appreciate the support, appreciate the love. See you guys in the next one. Hey, nothing but skills out.
Supply room access unlocked.